There we go, chat. Sorry about that. Listen, man. I piss like twice a stream, alright? Relax. Sometimes I just gotta fucking go. Alright? It is what it is. Templar, are you with us? My brother. Hey, Colton, thanks so much again for the prime of the 5 subs, dude. I really appreciate you. Alright, today we're watching a fucking support VoD, dude. Here we go. Ugh. I'm here. Perfect. Let's fucking go. Alright, chat. It's up to you to figure out what rank this guy is, alright? That's how simple it is. I'm not going to tell you guys anything. You're going to have to figure it out all by yourself. I know the rank personally because it's been given to me, but that's what the prediction is for. You guys get to guess. You guys have to guess the rank. I already voted.
I said to Ash,
Oh, he's emoting in Spawn? Clearly Masters.
Said, I can't repeat what she said in polite company.
Clearly Masters. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god.
This is much better than retirement.
Hanging there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Holy shit, dude. I just want to fucking shoot myself in the kneecap. Let's pay attention. I'm going to be focusing a lot on your positioning, Templar. That's usually what I do when I watch people play support. The one thing I can point out there is that you should be careful when using a nade like that. That's the one thing I want you to pay more. That's pretty fucking nice sleep, by the way. You need to be a little bit more careful with the nade there, because all it takes is one nade and one concussive mine and you're dead. But if you have the nade, you can heal yourself really quickly afterwards and he can't kill you. I would have liked for you to hold it there actually and be a little bit more patient. Okay, now this happened twice. I'm going to point it out. Two things, right? When you're playing down here and you have two enemies up there, don't ever try and snipe with the nade. It's never going to work, right? In the rare event that it does work, I would rather, if you're going to go for this nade here, try and hit a wall, like over here instead. The AoE on the nade is so big that I think it like hits all the way over here, so it doesn't matter. Going for the snipe, don't do that, right? It might work 1 out of 10 times, but if you snipe up here instead, like if you put your nade around here on the wall, so the kind of like the splash damage does the damage for you, it does the same thing, it just guarantees the damage instead. So try and do that instead of sniping. Oh shit.
The payload's moving. About time. Healing gear. They have superior numbers. Yes, old man. Taking damage.
Decent sleep. Careful, you're low. Again, don't try and snipe them mid-air. Wait for them to land instead. Nice sleep. Saved your May.
Remember, Reinhardt, when you the wither shield is down.
It's gonna be behind you.
Enemy here.
You can hold your nano here. Ooh, careful. I don't know if that was Giga Chat or stupidity. I'm not sure yet. You can nano the Winston here. Nano the Winston. Should have nanoed a little bit earlier. Insane. That Susu was actually fucking massive. Yeah, that Susi was a WTF, dude. That was nuts.
I still have some fight in me.
That Susu is quite obvious. Now we know that this is a... Now we know for a fact that the minimum rank here is Master. Okay, kinda see what you're trying to do there with the nade. It's okay, I'm not gonna give you flack for that. Chat, I'm sorry. It just came up in my mind. I don't know why. I have ADHD brain, so I have to ask. Is it okay to have naturals 5 in the morning? That's okay, right? It's okay to have nachos 5 in the morning. It's completely okay, right? It's like a good guilty pleasure, right? I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. Yes, yes, yes. It's always nacho time. Okay, good. I just wanted to get that off my chest. I don't know why. I don't know why. I didn't know why. I just had to ask.
Enemy in sight.
Be careful.
You legit have ADHD? Oh yeah.
You're going to.
I was diagnosed when I was 12. I've had ADHD all my life basically.
Enemy over here.
Ooh, almost.
Enemy turret ahead. Enemy here. Enemy turret down.
Ooh. A little bit unfortunate with the sleep there. Your Kiriko is really good. Nice. Good waste of that. All things considered, okay.
Payload stall. Need you to move on.
Is that your Cole? Yeah, it is.
Hanging there.
Don't fret. I see you.
It's okay to nade the Rhine. Yep. You were thinking the same thing I was thinking. Not bad, not bad. So you have good game sense. Your game sense is good. We just need to apply it a little bit more often.
Over there.
And you're pinging too. Nice. You just don't try and snipe him here with a nade. Okay, we're on card duty.
Healing you. Don't keep them in.
Chad, are you guys spamming? Are you guys copy pasting hang in there because the Mei's spamming it?
No power down. Get in there.
Decent nade. So, I want to point something out, right? And this is coming from a Cole player myself. I actually legitimately don't think that nano boosting a Cole is the play here. Instead, what I would like you to do is actually nanoing your Rhine. Because evidently, the high noon is ticking, right? And if there's a Ramatra channeling his shift onto the Cole with the nano, it doesn't matter. The nano will actually not give him enough damage to kill him during his shift, and anyways, what I would have liked you to do instead is that play this a little bit more calm, a little bit more selective, hold it, drop a nade if you have to, that's completely fine, right? But then try and snipe the Rhine instead. Now, I don't know how your sensitivity is with nano, but nanoing the Cole there actually serves zero purpose. I don't know if you missed or if you panicked or whatever happened here, but if you held it for a little bit longer and slapped it onto the Rhine, this would have been an easy teamfight win, right? I don't know if you're going to win or lose this teamfight, but you would have guaranteed a win here. The reason why I say that is because Ramatra's damage reduction during his shift is so high that even if you were to nano the Cole during high noon, it serves no purpose. He will not get a skull on a Ramatra holding shift anyway. So I'm just pointing it out here for the sake of like criticism, good feedback, is that if you held it a little bit longer, it would have been much better. And I mean, we can also see our own Reinhardt being like 90% from having ult. It would have guaranteed him an ult, and it would have basically had a domino effect. But yeah, I just want to point that out because I saw it. And if it was a panic button, it's just good feedback for next time you end up in a similar situation. You couldn't have saved the Mei there. Nice attempt on the sleep. Unfortunate that you missed it. Nice fucking nade. Holy shit. That's brutal. Sexy. Careful. Your Rhine is very good.
Sometimes it takes two.
Beautiful nade. Yeah. Really, really nice nade.
Let's kick this off.
Again, kind of trying to snipe. So, Temple, do you kind of see what I'm saying though with the sniping? It seems that we're missing a lot of nades. Like some of the nades that you kind of like, I can tell that you're like carefully planning how to shoot some of the nades, and they get a lot of value. And that's what we talked about when it came to like the game sense, right? And then we have these god awful nades where you're kind of like Hail Mary throwing them. And there are ways where you're kind of throwing them out in the wild where you can actually consistently hit them, right? For example, the Cole was up there. If you hit the pillar instead of trying to snipe him, you get the nade off. He gets it, you both win, right? And it wouldn't even have taken you that much longer to aim for the pillar instead. So that's the one thing I want to point out clearly, because we've seen it multiple occasions here. Obviously, you can't put that feedback into the game because we're watching a replay from the past, right? But if there's one thing I want to point out to you is that take your time, aim the nade. It's way more important to actually get value out of it, because that will lead to you getting ult faster instead of just kind of like throwing it, you know, in the wind, right? We missed probably like 3 or 4 nades this game, which is probably another 30% of your ultimate that you certainly just have not gotten because we're kind of throwing them out in the wild, right? So I just want to point that out. It's very important that you're trying to hit your nades and don't panic too much. Ooh, almost. Again, if you hit the ground there instead, you would have hit him. Oh no, we're suffering as he has.
I go out on my terms.
Moira?
Humanity is shackled.
Okay.
I will find the key.
Okay.
Misery made eyes open now.
Step right up.
Okay, that's ours. Nice.
Right in my line of fire.
Big stunner.
Payload's under my control. Let's roll out.
Gonna pay attention a little bit how you position your orbs. Yeah, decent healing orb. Decent. Ah, okay. I kind of see what you did there with your orb there. You thought he went into the right. That's okay. You didn't know.
Progresses. The payload needs to be moved.
Hey! I was. Enemy here.
Decent.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
Your Sombra C9'd it. Your fucking Sombra's a giga, chat. Holy shit.
Score 0
Chat,
to 3.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Switching
I'm gonna be
sides.
completely honest with all of you. Sometimes watching this POV can be deceiving. Sometimes clues to figure out what rank it truly is not by looking at the person that we're reviewing. Sometimes it's all about looking at what else is going on in the game. Gotta keep that in mind. Alright, let's see what you're doing on defense.
I will not leave a broken world behind.
Also, chat, if you get ads, let me know so I can pause the game, okay?
Yes.
Are firearms not to your taste?
What's the value tapping heal instead of holding with Moira? You deplete your healing resource faster by holding than if you were to tap it.
Justice is cruel. It demands sacrifice.
Justice is cruel, it demands sacrifice. Okay.
Stay in sight, and I'll keep you
Witness
safe.
me. Witness me.
5, 4,
Let's see how you fare on defense.
1. Attackers incoming. Stop the payload.
Bring the light back to the universe.
Okay, I am gonna point something out, big brain to you right now, Templar. But first, I'm gonna ask chat if they can figure out what's going wrong here. Let's see if chat can figure it out. What am I gonna point out here? Position. The position is okay. That's not what I'm going to point out. No line of sight? Not really either. Dark 7 figured it out. Also, we have ads. Chat, we have ads. Chat, we have ads. We have ads. We have ads. I'm going to wait for the non-subs, okay? What is he doing wrong? Okay, let me point it out to you, all right? Here's one thing. So, this is actually quite critical, and I want to explain this why. The positioning actually isn't bad. That's not where I'm having an issue here. The issue, what's going to happen, is that I know from experience, because I've seen this a million times, and they have a Winston, and they have a Kiriko, right? So they can just dive, and you're dead if they find you. But here's the thing. When you hard scope with Ana, you leave a trail behind your bullets, right? Basically outlining exactly where you are. Also, your shots are louder. So in this particular situation, that positioning right there, I don't have a problem with it. What I have a problem with is that from this angle, you need to be left clicking, right? You're not being incognito at all, in fact. Left clicking is harder, and it's also slower, but left clicking actually doesn't give away your positioning, and it's also quieter to shoot. So in this particular case, if you're hard scoping onto these targets right here, you should only do it if the HP of your teammates are critical, right? And if you're quick scoping, you're giving away a trail to where you are, so the enemy team can just dive you, and there's no way that your team can help you, right? So in this particular case, what you want to do is you want to spam left click, and you do not want to give a trail behind your bullets, right? What the? Oh, that is trippy. You guys see that? So you can stand up there. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that positioning. It's just you need to be a little bit careful by hard scoping in that situation, right? The reason why I'm pointing this out is because I love to play Widow on offense myself. I absolutely fucking love it when Ana players play in your angle and they're hard scoping their teammates playing here on the left, right? Because all I need to do is grapple quickly over to this side right here, wait for you to shoot, boom, you're dead, right? And now I know where you're at. So I just want to point that out, that if you're going to have a position like this, play it smart, right? And only quick scope or ADS in to heal your teammates if it's critical, okay? That's what I want to point out. And the reason why I say this is because just because it works at this rank doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work in the next, right? So I want to prepare you for the future. We're here to make you a better player, not just in the rank that you're in, but also for the future. Nicely. And what did I say was going to happen, chat?
Sniper.
Did I not call it? Did I not call it? Nope.
I'm not finished.
Anyways, Templar, now you know, right? I just want to point that out. I know what I'm talking about. At least you can trust me.
I'm under attack.
Nicely. Be careful about ADSing. They don't have a Widow anymore, so we have to be a little bit less careful, but still kind of careful. Good angle to hold there on the left. You just need to be careful. Yep. Got too much damage for your Cole. Nice nade. You have good nades, man. Oh, that Ana doesn't like you. Yo, what is that 180 sleep though? Yo, the 180 sleep. I like it. That's a fucking poggers, dude. Cracking 180s.
To try harder than that.
I was just about to say, if I'm an Ana player, which I'm not, but if I was, I'd play left side. But it looks to me like you're going to play left side anyways. This is good. Good positioning. Don't drop down.
Over there.
Well.
Engaging thrusters.
Monka. So the reason why I say the reason why I reacted so strongly to you leaving high ground there is because you can still commit and do the same amount of stuff that you want to do on low ground as you can do on high ground. The only difference is, right, they don't have a Widow anymore, so we don't have to worry about that snipe across the map, right? If you're playing left side, right, on high ground, you will basically do the same thing and fuck, what's the word I'm looking for? Fuck, man, English is hard. What's the word I'm looking for, chat? Accomplish. You would have accomplished the same thing, but playing from a safe angle instead, right? And sometimes that's the important part, right? Playing from a safe angle where you can't get harmed and you're completely free and you're safe. And it should never be underestimated how important it is to be safe, right? If you know at the back of your head that there's nothing that can touch you from that angle, then you feel better and you'll play better as well. Everyone plays worse during stress. Everyone plays worse when you have a lot of pressure on you. But by taking a left high ground angle right there, there is no pressure, right? And you can focus completely and wholesomely just trying to heal your team as much as possible, right? Instead here, by jumping down on low ground and playing up close and personal, you're not only subjecting yourself to become an easier target, but you're also going to have a harder time trying to heal your teammates just backing off, right? So I just want to point that out, but leaving high ground there served no purpose but to put yourself in a dangerous situation. So I just want to point that out.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Nice. Watch out for the cum.
The payload has reached the channel.
Got one here.
Sigma, present.
Can you stop mansplaining? Suck my left nut. Personally, I would have healed the Ram that fight, Templar. But I know that you were trying to get the D.Va. Actually, no. I do want to talk about that. I would argue that Nanoblade is strong, but I think Nano Annihilation is even stronger. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think for team fights now, when you're playing like cart like this, if you kept your Ram alive there, it might have been a different outcome. Now, it's hard to say because it was 2v5, right? So even though Ramatra has ults and you nano boost him, it's not a guarantee, you know, quote unquote win, but I think if you focused on him a little bit more, that might have gone a little bit different. Instead of trying to kill the D.Va. Because like the moment the D.Va ignores you and starts walking towards the payload, I think it's completely fine for you to try and go for a sleep, but then try and keep your Ram alive, right? In hindsight, right? In hindsight. So I do think that the most important target in that situation is not getting kills, but keeping your Ramatra alive. I just kind of want to point that out because it is important, even though it was a 2v5. I do think that Nano Boosted Annihilation is actually kind of disgusting. And it might have been different if you healed him. In hindsight, I should have healed Ramos when he was at a mech? Correct, yeah, correct. Nice nade. Nice sleep. Oh. Oh no. That sucks. Nice nade again. Why rush it? Sometimes it happens. Sometimes we make like in the heat of a fight, we make a lot of bad mistakes. It happens, right? It's just how we improve upon those mistakes that make us better players. I can understand what they were trying to go for. I mean, arguably you could say, yeah, if you waited 2 seconds for the nade, you would have got an insta-kill. True. But then again, if anyone did 10 damage to that D.Va, she would have died too, you know?
Don't fret. I see you.
What is that melody?
Don't need a nano here.
emerges.
Over there.
Over there.
Such a lack of imagination. Such a lack of imagination. Be mindful.
Staying up to sleep. It's good. You're pinging. Oh. Don't know about that. That's a little bit risky. Especially when you have nano. So I kind of want to point this out because it is very critical. Even though you might have won this fight, I just want to point it out that I feel like if you have nano and a 5v5 is about to happen, the moment you miss that sleep, you need to get the fuck out of dodge, right? You need to get out. You don't take that fight. And the higher rank you go to, the more you're gonna get punished for it as well. So when you miss that sleep, you need to go. Like you're out. It's like bye peace, because you have nano and you need to stay alive, right? You win this fight regardless because your Hanzo pops off. But yeah, kind of just want to point out that in that scenario, we do not double down. We back off. So, and we can't really ego a co-player either. Yeah, it's a good point because like, you know, on the offset that he gets a little bit closer, he tossed the nade on you and you're dead, right? So I would rather you play it more defensively here because you have nano. If you don't have nano, different story. But yeah.
Constructing my teleporter.
Thank you.
Holy shit. Well, I mean, sometimes, you know, god damn. Fucking melted, cunt. Woo. Yeah, fuck you in particular.
Get in there.
Yeah, decent nano. Decent nade. Yep, it's good. Isn't there a Kiriko behind? I was about to say.
On a target.
Insignificant.
Cosmically insignificant. What the fuck?
Such a lack of imagination.
Oh, relax, Symmetra.
Over there.
Teleporter material.
Stand up straight.
Eat his fucking ass. Eat it. Remember to... Oh! Okay. That's better.
60 seconds.
Teleporter manifested.
I like your positioning here. You don't have to be up there.
Let you fall.
I like the fact that you're playing like further behind than the rest of your team. So you have like a good overview. This is good positioning. Makes it hard for the enemy team to actually punish you. Oh.
Over there.
Such a lack of imagination.
I'm gonna point something out that I feel like a lot of NA players do wrong, and Yus did it too. Never engage against a Moira with anti-nade like that, right? Even in the offset that you hit it, it doesn't matter. All she needs to do is shift away. You need to wait for the shift to go onto you, right? And I feel like everyone should follow this golden rule, because in a scenario like this, you're not gonna get a Moira kill. She's gonna shift away, and then the nade just served no purpose, right? What I want you to try and do instead is that it's okay to let your teammates take care of the situation, but you should always use nade after her dash and not before. And you can probably tell why that's the right call to make. I think in this scenario right here, even to like get her out of position or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's one Moira versus your entire team. I would rather you save your nade for if something goes wrong, right? That's kind of like, it should never be underestimated how important it is to bait out cooldowns from enemy teams, right? And in this scenario, she could have played it smart and baited you out, you know? Could have baited your nade out for his team to like engage or whatever, but I kind of don't like engaging with it, even though you want to flush them out. I would rather that you ping and let your team know that she's there and then hold your nade, right? Because you never know. You never know. That's the thing. So I would rather you play this perfectly instead of like half and half.
Behold my tool.
30 seconds.
Over here. Hold up the defense for just a little longer.
The barrier appears.
But the real question is, Chad, are you Plink or are you Plonk?
Let the Kitsune guide you. Reality bends to my will.
I actually thought that Kiriko was gonna get a hit by that, but she didn't. That was weird. Oh, he's dead. A little bit of panic there, yeah, but we won the fight anyways. Okay. Okay. Okay, so obviously it's gonna sound very critical and it's gonna sound, you know, a little bit like beating a dead horse, but I do it out of passion, right? I do it because I want you to improve and I see a lot of good things, but there's also a lot of bad things. So let's start with the good. The good thing is when you think about what you want to do, it's quite evident and it's quite clear that you thought about the certain situation in your head. The nades that you take your time and line up actually gets a lot of value. Your game sense is very good. Your aim could use some work, yes. Your positioning could absolutely use some work, but I do think that where you're lacking is kinda your decision making, right? So initially, you have good positioning initially, right? But you kind of lose that train of thought rather quickly once your team gets critical, and it happens a lot in every rank, to be honest with you, that when your team starts taking a lot of damage, you stop thinking about what you're doing. You kind of just get from point A to point B, right? And you don't really care how you get to point B, you kind of just do it. And sometimes that's not the right decision to make. Where I think that you can improve a lot is that I feel like once there's a little bit of pressure on you, you start kind of throwing Hail Marys, right? Like you throw a nade to try and snipe someone from across the map, or you try and like you throw a sleep dart out in the wild, like just literally off cooldown. But it's very evident to me that when you can take your time and think about what you want to do, not only are your sleep darts really good, but so is your nades, right? So the way we can circumvent this is that you need to think about your positioning and you need to have an out, right? Do you know what that means? Basically, hypothetically speaking, say first point, for example, right? You give away your position. Now you need to have an exit, right? You need to have an exit. And every single high ground positioning that you take, which is good, you always need to have an exit plan, right? So if you get doved, you want to move backwards or you want to move closer to your team, or if you take a high ground position on the last point or on the first point, you always need to have an exit plan ready to go. And it seems to me like a lot of the time that initial positioning is good, but then as soon as there's a little bit of pressure, you crumble. And then you kind of throw all that kind of game knowledge out the window, and your sleep darts just go everywhere. Your nades start, you trying to snipe with them or whatever. Give me 1 second. And it seems to me like we can circumvent the panicking by just positioning ourselves accordingly, right? High ground is good. I don't mind that at all. And as long as you give yourself a little bit of leniency and you work a little bit on your positioning and know that you don't have to be standing in the middle of your team to be a successful healer. You can basically stand further away because I don't know if you main Ana, but when it comes to it, is that you can kind of like stand super far away where you can abuse ADS as long as there's not a Widow, right? And you can play further away, it doesn't matter. So I want you to work on that. Like if you take a high ground position, if you want to take like a certain situation or a position on point A, point B, point C, don't matter. I want you to start planning an exit route when things get rocky, right? And I don't want that exit route to be you walking into the team where you're an easier target. As for Moira, tapping your heal is always better. It's better for resource management as well. Second of all, I actually very much hate using her healing orb. 99% of the time, a lot of Moira players will throw out a healing orb. It will literally heal for like 30 healing, and then it just goes into space, and that's it, right? I would rather that you tap with your healing and use your damage orb a little bit better for that ult combo, right? That's the number one thing. But other than that, it just seems to me like the game knowledge is there, the aim is there, but if you're going to take like a high ground position like you did on point A, you need to use left click more, right? And the moment that you ADS, you leave a trail behind your bullet, and now the entire enemy team knows where you're at, right? So you need to try and keep that in mind and try and integrate that into your gameplay. But other than that, I thought it was pretty sweet. You're a good Ana player, And I think that if you integrate those tips to your gameplay, I think you'll start climbing pretty well.